I hope this video helps. Please check out the playlist, Evidence for Christianity, Evidence for the Bible, End Times, and the Book of Revelation. I'll leave links in the description for all four. Enjoy. Alright, just got a brand new dishwasher that I have to install. I'll leave an Amazon list link in the description of all the products and tools that I use in this video. I am an Amazon associate, so I do earn from any qualifying purchases when using my link. Gonna get rid of this junk GE dishwasher. So I'm gonna cut along this dotted line and then pull the box off. Time for the big reveal. So if your insulation here, this white sheet comes off, this is the way it goes on. That's the front, this is the back. And then on this side you have the hoses, and this part of the insulation has a plastic liner on it. And now the most important part with the box here. I'm going to assume you already measured the hole here so that the new one will fit in it. Let's go ahead and take this old one out so we can start transferring stuff over. I want to shut off our water. I can trace back that braided metal hose there all the way back to that one down there. It says pull to close. And there it is. It's closed. Alright, since I got the water shut off, I'm going to trigger all the mechanisms here so it will release that water into the washing machine, any pressure that it has, so it's not spraying me when I take the hose off. And then let it off, and now we'll go unplug it. And then you can see the plug coming here for the dishwasher. Just unplug it. Now you can shut off the circuit breaker if you want. There's 2 1/4-inch bolts down here that I need to take off, and then I'll be able to get this cover and that cover off. I got a 1/4-inch nut driver. Let's get them off. So these 2 bolts up here are not tight. They are just in a slotted, notched out area that you have to slide over in order to get it out of the notched out area, and then take it off. Now I got access to all the goods. So here's the electrical junction box on the front bottom of the dishwasher. Here's a 9/32 head bolt that I need to take out. And just pivot it out and it'll slide off. It's got a tab here that goes into a notch here. And then this little thing makes a good tray for all your bolts. Now you got 3 wire nuts that you need to take off. Now go ahead and disconnect them. So this is the electrical wiring for the dishwasher, and this is for the power cord. So to get this one out, it's got little tabs you got to push in for this grommet on the top and bottom, or whichever way yours is facing. Might be side to side. And then you can push the whole grommet out. Alright, there's your electric cable. So now I want to disconnect the water in and the water drain. So this here is the water in, and then that's the solenoid that lets the water in. Just going to unscrew that. You want to have something to catch the water, because there's going to be some water left over in the system. I got some alligator pliers here to help me. So you may have been wondering what the silver cap is that's next to your sink. This is the drain for the dishwasher. So you can pop that up and take this nut off here in order to get the assembly down so you can work on it. I got my trusted alligator pliers again. It's a little hard to see behind the garbage disposal, but right there you can see the drain hose going up there, and that's where that it connects to that assembly for the drain, and then the other end of it goes into the garbage disposal. So now I'm going to pull that down so I can get everything connected to it, and there's an even better view of it. So now I have better access to it. Disconnect the garbage disposal. And I got my 5/16 nut driver here. Alright, hose clamp is loosened up enough. Now I can wiggle that hose off of there. There we go. I want to try and get this water out of the hose. It's just kind of trapped right here. So let's see. There, I got it out of the hose part, but there's still some inside the dishwasher probably. So to keep any water coming out, I'm going to go ahead and put a Ziploc bag over this. I'm going to hose clamp it on there. And since I already got the electrical plug disconnected, I'm going to go ahead and pull it out so that it's out of the way. It doesn't get smashed or nicked by anything when I'm doing the install. And it's got that grommet on it, so that's keeping it from coming all the way out, which is fine. Yeah, you can see the wires back there. They're up and out of the way, so we're good. So this dishwasher is mounted to the cabinet with a couple screws right there that I need to take out. So there we go. Everything is up and out of the way so that I can just slide this out. So something to keep in mind as I was trying to pull it out, this thing kept snagging the countertop, so I just need to make sure that that comes down. There we go. And then probably bend it down a little more so that it's not scraping and snagging on the countertop there. There we go. That's plenty of a gap there. There we go. Now we're good. Now what's snagging? So now the inside part, this white plastic, is snagging against the countertop. So I'm going to need to turn the feet there on the dishwasher so that it will allow the top to come down some. Alright, hopefully that'll be enough. Yep, looks like we got plenty of clearance now between the plastic part and the countertop. There we go. Had to lean it forward so it stops snagging.
If you want to support my channel, leave a super thanks below, or you can join Robinhood through a link that I'll leave in the description, and we'll both get a free stock, or you can purchase the products through a link in the description. I'll get a little commission. Continue watching.
You can tell this was installed back when they built the house. They sure as heck didn't try cleaning it up before they put it back in there. All clean and ready for the new install. Now I gotta get that drain hose out. Hung up on that. So this is my Whirlpool's owner's manual. Shows the installation. It doesn't come with these parts, but fortunately the old one that we had has those parts already. Also gives you some measurements. So for the cabinet opening, you got to measure that here for the height, and that tells you whether or not you need to remove the rear legs or what height to set them at, and also what height to set the front legs at. So my cabinet height is 34.5, so I'll be setting the front legs to 1 1/8 inch, and then back legs 1 1/4 inch. Front legs where to measure, back legs where to measure. And one thing you need to be careful of when moving this thing around is it's kind of front heavy. So if you go opening that door, or if just put a little bit too much of a tilt going forward, it could topple over onto this front. So now I'm going to go ahead and set the height for my feet. That one's already set to the correct height. That one's already set to the correct height too. That one needs adjusted. That one's good. Looks good now. Getting the drain hose ready. I already moved the hose clamp over. It has two different sizes, a 1 inch and a 5/8. I'm going to cut off the 1 inch because it's a 5/8 that I have. All right, now I'm going to go put this on. All right, so now I'm going to put this onto that thing. All right, it's on there all the way. Now I just gotta tighten the hose clamp. Then we'll be done with this part. Now I'm gonna shove that thing back up through the hole and tighten that nut back on it. Whew. All right, now I'm gonna pull this up through and put the nut back on. There you go. All right, now I'm going to fish the drain hose through the hole. So before I slide this into the hole that it goes, I want to take the access panel off here so that I can get to everything when I need to. All right, let's go slide it in. All right, time to go ahead and slide it in, and I'll be looking underneath to make sure I can fish everything the way that I want it as it's getting put back there. So I need to put these on. They go into slots here. You gotta hook it in to the first notch there, and then it slides in like that. So this is the left side here. So when I get it hooked in there, I'm going to bend this little one up, and I'm gonna push this hook one down. All right, it's on there. Pretty solid too. Now that I got these on, I'm going to push it back in all the way. Make sure this insulation stays where it's supposed to also. Alright, let's connect all this stuff up. Let's go ahead and connect the water supply line up first so that it will stop dripping water everywhere. You want to make sure that that seal is still on the inside this. That way it doesn't leak. You don't want to do it too tight because this is plastic threads. You don't want to strip them out or break them. Alright, that seems pretty tight. So I got my drain line here. I'm going to put this clamp on it. Alright, so I got it refished a different direction. I had to pull the dishwasher out a little bit so I could get this moved around. But now I got it, I think, so that I can get it plugged in easier. So let's try it. Let's try it now. Now I just need to get this clamp around that part right there. Get some pliers. Alright, the clamp's on. Looks good now. And you can see how far in I got the barbed hose. So now I need to get behind this panel for the electrical. I got my 1/4 inch nut driver for that bolt there. Alright, this access panel, just pivot it back and then you can take it off. Alright, now I want to get the power cord fished through the back. Whoops.
You're touching that.
That's okay, it's not plugged in. And then latch it in. Yeah, there we go. So I got my cut resistant gloves so I can manipulate these wires a little easier without them jamming me and poking me constantly. So you want to make sure you wire the white one to the white and the black to black. And this green wire goes to that ground. Screw there. There we go, and it smashes it down onto the wire. So now we're good with the ground. So these other wires, we're gonna get them twisted together. So white to white. Got the white to white together there. You want to make sure that the wires go all the way to the end of one another before putting this wire nut on, and then the wire nut will kind of do the rest. And the wire nut should be nice and tight on there. So make sure also that there's no wires just exposed. I got the black wire twisted on there and ready for the wire nut. So the wire nuts, you want to make sure that it didn't just push one of the wires all the way off. So make sure that the wires are actually in there by giving them a little tug test. And they seem to be screwed onto the wires pretty good. Make sure you don't pinch it anywhere. Alright, everything looks good. Don't feel any pinched wires anywhere. Before I put the handle on, I want to take this big old sticker, protective sticker off. Alright, so I'm going to put the handle on and then screw in these little Allen screws. Handle's on. Alright, now I'm going to put the screws in up there. There it is. So I don't want to put the bottom cover on yet because I need to test run it and make sure there's no leaks. Now I can plug it back in safely. First leak test is turning the main supply water to it on. So this you just push in. There we go. Alright, check on our main supply. Just feel around. Look at the bottom. Make sure there's no drips forming. Feel around this fitting in the back also. And the bottom of it. Make sure it's not forming any drips. Everything feels fine to me. So let's run it. I inspected it to make sure that there's nothing left in here like any accessories that it came with. Yeah, just look inside there, just nothing down there. Looks good. Now we can run it. Let's select what cycle we want. Quick. We're just gonna do a quick. We don't want heated or extended dry. Doesn't need sanitized. We just want to start it. Start, close it. So it should take off now. It's got a little light there that's on, so I assume that means it's running. So it has gone through a fill and drain cycle. I want to inspect everything again to make sure that there's no leaks on the drain side as well. Everything feels good there. No leaks around or below this. Now, if you got cold water going in, it might be a little damp, but this is hot water, so it's not damp on the outside from condensation or anything. And you want to look around on the floor also for any water accumulation that may be from a leak from the manufacturer. So I don't see anything. Everything's looking good here. Make sure there's nothing back there. Make sure you don't shock yourself also. Looks good. Since we also installed that up there, want to make sure there's no water leaking and dripping down here. Everything looks good. I'm happy. Now I need my 1/4-inch nut driver. Thank you. So I can put this bottom cover back on and then we are completely done. Looks great.
If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. And if you want to connect with me, I have a public group on MeWe called Share Your Trade. And I have an Instagram. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching.